All right, so we finally found a spot, but it's not soundproof, so I have to talk pretty quietly since it is a library. But isn't it such a pretty library? Like, check that out. I think it was inspired by the Babylonian terraces, and it really does look like the gardens of Babylon. But anyway, we got our cocoa. I actually chose a drink I normally wouldn't. I think today in general is something out of my comfort zone. I don't usually film in public, as you could see from my previous videos. But you know, I want us to hang out together here. So it could be our little hangout session. This is going to be really loud. The paper straws are ridiculously, like, how are you supposed to poke a hole with a paper straw? I don't know. But let's see. Alright, that was easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright. Oh, it's good. Okay, I think I chose the wrong drink. It's way too crunchy. Can you hear that? This is not a library drink. Alright, so there's something I wanted to talk to you about. I've realized that self-doubt like never leaves me throughout this like entire journey. Like every step of the way, I'm filled with different kinds of doubt as to whether I can do it, as to I should be doing this, if there's something I should be doing differently. And like before I started like filming YouTube videos, right, I would doubt myself in the sense that I would be too scared to actually film videos because I was doubting myself whether I was, worthy to like, not worthy, but like if I would be funny enough, if I could present myself well enough, if, I would find the right things to say, if people would find me interesting enough to watch, if people would like understand what I'm actually trying to say instead of like misunderstanding. So I had a lot of doubts before starting, which obviously like I chose to believe them, and that prevented me from actually starting YouTube. But now that I've like finally decided to ignore those doubts and just like go for it and actually start, filming videos, now there are different doubts that creep up. It's like, it's a never-ending series of doubts. And now the doubts are more so like, will I be successful? Will I be able to actually do YouTube full time? because in order to do YouTube full time, unfortunately, I have to be able to make enough money off of it to be able to live and continue pursuing my interests. It's weird because, like, when you have self-doubts, you're constantly checking your reality to in order to like find evidence that your doubts are baseless. Like, you are hoping that your reality is a lot more positive than you fear. But what ends up happening is when you check reality so frequently, when you check for evidence like so frequently, that the time between you checking reality is so small, there isn't much difference each time you check, you know? Like, there isn't much progress that you can see every time you check because you're checking so frequently. And when that happens, doubt actually increases. My self-doubt like has me checking YouTube analytics in like an anxious way to see if like I gained any subscribers, if people liked my videos, if people commented on my videos, if my latest video got more views than my previous video. So like the self-doubt has me checking to see if I'm making enough progress. And if I'm not, then that self-doubt increases even more. And I end up feeling defeated and like hopeless against reality. I don't know, do you do that too? Like, do you take it personally? Do you associate your reality with your capabilities and like your worthiness? I think everyone does that. But like when I don't see the results I want, it's like, yeah, I intellectually know that it's not about me, it's probably about my method, or like I can intellectualize why I'm not seeing the progress and the results I want. You know, it takes time, and like I need to test different things out, I have to experiment. And I just need to let YouTube figure out who to show my videos to. So like intellectually, I know why things aren't going the way I want them to, like in this ideal version of reality. But like emotionally, I still kind of take it personally, and like the self-doubt creeps up, and I feel like there's something inherently wrong with how I'm showing up, or like there's something wrong about me, and that's why people don't watch my videos, or that's why my videos don't go viral. And like, it's stupid, but like that's what happens, I think. I don't know, what do you think? Can you hear that? If you hate chewing noises, I'm so sorry. I didn't think they would be putting passion fruit seeds into this drink, but it's just full of passion fruit seeds. Like, can you see the passion fruit seeds? So like, I've been thinking about how to like reduce and hopefully like eliminate my self-doubt. And I'm really open to like your suggestion as well. Like, has there been anything that worked for you, and were you able to like find methods and ways to like reduce your own self-doubts and just like increase your, I guess, self-esteem? Like, I'm trying to like speak face to face with you, but you know, it's going to be a bit asynchronous. But I've been hoping that with this like public library setting, we can like hang out a bit more in a friendly manner, as if, you know, we were talking face to face. So please let me know if my intentions are coming across, if you feel like you're actually hanging out with me in this library, which is a nice place to hang out, I think. So yeah, I've been thinking about different ways to reduce my self-doubt. I think self-doubt is like a natural part of the process of just, embarking on new journeys, doing things you've never done before. And it's uncomfortable to like not be the same person you were before, not doing the same things you've done before. And I'm actually like listening to the audiobook of You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he was just talking about this. So like basically you have your old self, the self that is stuck in the past, and you have your new self. There's this desired version of yourself, right? That's living the life that you want to live, that's thinking the thoughts you want to think, that's behaving in the way that you want to behave, and experiencing things that you want to experience. But there's like, these are two different people, right? You have to completely change yourself to become this desired version of yourself and to live the desired life that you want. You have to completely change your brain. You have to completely change your neural networks. You have to change your thoughts. You have to change your behaviors. You have to change your emotional reactions to new experiences. And basically, you have to change your entire personality, your entire way of thinking, your entire mindset, to become this new desired version of yourself. You have to become a different person because these are two different people, right? You don't want to stay stuck in the past. You don't want to stay as you are now. So going from the old self to the desired new self, it requires a ton of discomfort, and you're basically stepping into a void where you just have like a bunch of uncertainties, and it's unpredictable because you're not basing your reality on the past anymore. You're trying to create a new reality that is not the same as the past. So the past is familiar to you. It's predictable. You know what to do, you know what to think, you know how to react. It's predictable, it's comfortable, it's familiar. But once you try to change your life and live a new life, live the life that you want, right? That necessitates living in uncertainty, living in discomfort, living in unfamiliar territory for a while until you get used to the new self, until you get used to the desired version of yourself, until your brain reorganizes itself, until your neurons create new programs that you want your brain to function on. So every time I step out of my familiarity, out of my comfort zone, out of my past, into the future that I want to create, it's uncomfortable, and the brain doesn't like the brain doesn't like uncertainty. The brain doesn't know what to do with it. So it'll try to like bring you back to the past. It'll try to bring you back to what's familiar. And I think one way it does that is with the doubts. So every time I want to do something different, my brain's like, but what if this happens? And what if you're not good enough? What if you're not interesting? What if you have to do something totally different? What if it takes too much time or effort or whatever? What if you're never going to be successful? So the brain finds a way to bring you back to what's old, what's familiar, what's safe, what's known, so that you stay stuck, so that you stay comfortable, and so that you can survive, I guess. But the more you give in to those attempts that your brain makes, the more you allow your brain to bring you back to the familiar, the more you're reinforcing that stuckness, the more you're reinforcing the old patterns and behaviors and ways of thinking. So every time you want to do something, and every time doubts and excuses and fears creep up, I think you have to be hyper aware, like aware of when that happens. And that always happens when you want to do something new. So anytime you want to do something new, I think you have to be super aware of the fact that your brain is going to try to dissuade you from doing that new thing, and that your brain is going to try to convince you to just give up and stay the same. So I think there are a few different approaches, right? Because there are levels to this. For each level, there's a reason why your reality is like this, right? So superficially, like on a biological level, you can say that your neurons have hardwired to fire in this way. So, your brain is programmed and organized in this way. So, like, that's why you're stuck in your old ways. That's one level to it. But then, there's the subconscious level as well, where you have limiting beliefs about yourself and how the world works and how reality works. And then there's another layer, which relates back to another book I'm reading, which is The Courage to be Disliked, that says basically you have those limiting beliefs about yourself because they benefit you in some way, because they allow you to achieve a certain goal that you have that you aren't aware of. So even those subconscious limiting beliefs that are creating the same reality over and over again, the same stuckness, even those limiting beliefs have a reason to be there because they are benefiting you in some way. Our mind only keeps things that it thinks is beneficial to us. So I think every belief that we have because some part of us thinks that it's beneficial, right? Like, it thinks that it's useful to have that belief. So I think there's multiple levels and multiple layers, multiple reasons why we stay stuck in our old ways, that we stay stuck with a version of ourselves that we don't want. I'm not sure if approaching it in only one way would change the entire... I don't know if the solution involves attacking each layer simultaneously, or if attacking one layer, if solving one layer of the equation would just solve the entire problem. But what do you think? Do you think changing your habits is enough to change your identity, enough to change your limiting beliefs, enough to change your core motivations? Do you think that's enough to completely change your personality, your limiting beliefs, your perspective, your ego, your reality? Do you think a superficial approach would create a ripple effect where your entire reality and personality changes? Do you think that approach is enough? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. Maybe it's enough. Personally, I think to change my life completely and to live as the desired version of myself and to live in my desired reality, I personally think that changing my habits and nothing else, I don't think it would create enough change in the deepest layers of myself. I don't think it would affect my unconscious and subconscious desires and beliefs enough to change my entire personality and to change my entire reality. So I personally think I have to do like a multi-level approach where I approach my problems in each layer, you know. And to do that, I think journaling would help, like trying to figure out how these self-doubts, how these excuses, how these fears, how these limiting beliefs about myself, about my reality, how they benefit me. Like, I need to journal. I need to write more. Maybe first, like, freestyle it, like, just get everything I'm thinking about on paper, and then figuring out, like, how these thoughts benefit me, you know? And try to get to the core motivation as to why I'm thinking this way. Because we all have a goal that we're trying to achieve unconsciously by thinking the way that we do. So by journaling, I will try to get to the bottom of how these feelings, how these beliefs, how these doubts and fears are benefiting me, and what my core goal is, like what my core motivation is for continuing to believe and doubt and fear that I won't ever get my desired reality. And then another approach is like the somatic approach, I think. Like, you know how our nervous system can be in the parasympathetic or sympathetic states, and we can unconsciously be in a freeze state or a fight state or a flight state or a fawn state due to our mental stress, right? So I think we can also approach self-doubt and like fears and anxiety somatically as well. So just like calming the body, calming the nervous system, finding ways to feel safe in your environment and in your body, stimulating your vagus nerve, somatic exercises. I think that approach is also needed. Breath work, like breath work, humming, singing, hitting your vagus nerve like that, practicing mindfulness, I guess. I think you can like stimulate your vagus nerve by like massaging your ear and like pressing on your thumb, I think. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert somatic therapist in any way. I think it's worth approaching the issues that you are facing in as many different angles as possible, and changing yourself in as many layers as possible. I think we tend to ignore our bodies and what our bodies are trying to tell us and what our nervous system is trying to tell us. So, I think we have to listen to our bodies and, calm our nervous systems as well, in the pursuit of our desired realities. Another approach is to just not check your reality as often as you do. Because, like, personally, I don't think checking YouTube analytics multiple times a day is beneficial to me because, like, I end up obsessing over it. Instead of working, I end up, like, checking every 10 minutes to see if there's a new comment or whatever. So I think just, like, not checking your 3D reality for progress or evidence or confirmation bias or whatever would be helpful. Kind of like live in your desired reality like as much as you can, and that requires not checking your current reality, right? So you have to be delusional a little bit for a while. Well, not in a harmful sense, but like, yeah. Hold on. Loud drink break. I need to drink this drink before my paper straw becomes a flat sheet of paper, you know? It's a really nice drink though. What else? And I think we have to like push through those feelings of self-doubt, those feelings of fear and anxiety. Like, we have to accept that they will be there because we are not yet our new selves, we are not yet our desired selves. So our brain is just trying to protect us and like bring us back to default mode. But we have to kindly and lovingly say, yeah, we are doubting ourselves right now, but I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do the thing. You have to show the brain evidence that what you want to do is not as scary as the brain thinks. So you kind of have to treat yourself like a toddler, right? You have to be like, yeah, little one, I know you're scared of filming a video, but like, let's just do it and you'll see that it's not as scary as you thought, right? So like, you have to accept that this brain toddler is feeling this way. You have to like lovingly and kindly show them evidence that what they're scared of is not as scary as they think it is. And that's your brain. So yeah, I think that's another approach. Like, I don't know, do you have a fear of public judgment? Because I do. Like, I do and I don't. Like, once I get into the zone, it's fine. If I overthought this, if I took any time to think about what I was doing, like today, if I took any time to think about how people would be watching me while I film this, I would be too scared to film this in front of everyone. I would feel like I was on stage or something, because like, I'm in a glass cubicle, and this glass cubicle is like around a really busy area, and it's not soundproof either. So everything I say, people can potentially hear me, and obviously they can see me, and they can see me filming this video. Was I anxious? Did I have doubts? Yes. But do I have doubts now? No. I'm in the zone. I've showed my brain that it's not as scary as it thought it was to come here and film this video in front of strangers. And like, people don't care. People really don't care. I could do a really poor handstand and like backflip here. I can't, but like, I can do the weirdest things in this cubicle, and people might look at me for a second and they might laugh, but I would have just been like 1 minute of entertainment for them among the hours of scrolling that they do. So like, it's not going to be any different from anything that they consume on a daily basis. So they're not gonna remember what I did. And even if they do, like, who cares? Like, they're not gonna care. I'm doing the thing. Despite doubting myself, despite the fear, I'm doing the thing that I want to do, and I'm showing my brain evidence that it is possible, that it's not scary, that it's not going to put me in any danger, that it's doable, that I'm capable of doing it, and I could do it and survive it. So yeah, I think we have to have a multi-layer, multi-angle approach to changing our lives and reducing feelings of self-doubt, fear, anxiety, insecurities. I don't want to talk for too long, but if you want to continue hanging out, I will be filming a second video right after this one with my crunchy drink. So we can continue hanging out in the next video. But until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Please take care of yourself. Please be kind to yourself. Please be kind to others. If you enjoyed this video, please consider checking out my other videos. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I would very much appreciate that. And until next time, take care. Bye.